Alright, before we dive deep, we have to get the important legal stuff out of the way. I am not a financial advisor, and this presentation is for informational and educational purposes only. The world of cryptocurrency is volatile and carries significant risk. You should always do your own research and consult with a qualified professional before making any financial decisions. Your capital is at risk. Okay, let's get into it. There are over 300 million crypto users worldwide. Yet the single biggest question I get asked isn't, what coin should I buy? It's where should I even start? You see the headlines. You hear your friends talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, or some random dog-themed coin that just went to the moon. You feel that pull, that curiosity, that little bit of FOMO, the fear of missing out. So you pull out your phone, you open the App Store, and you type in crypto. And that's when the overwhelm hits you like a tidal wave. Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, Crypto.com. Uphold. The list goes on and on. There are literally hundreds of apps, all screaming for your attention, all promising to be the easiest, the safest, the best. They all have flashy logos and 5-star reviews. But which one is actually right for you, a beginner, right here in the United States? Which one isn't going to secretly drain your account with hidden fees? Which one won't crash the second the market gets a little bit exciting? And most importantly, which one will actually keep your money and your identity secure? Making the wrong choice here at step 1 can be devastating. It can mean paying 10 times more in fees than you have to. It can mean getting locked out of your account with no one to call for help. It can mean thinking you're buying an asset when you're really just buying a derivative that you don't even own. This isn't just about convenience. It's about starting your journey on solid ground instead of a trapdoor. That is exactly why I made this video. This is your definitive, no-nonsense guide to choosing the best crypto app for a US-based beginner in 2024. We are going to cut through all the marketing hype and the confusing jargon. We're going to put the biggest players under a microscope and compare them side by side, based on the things that actually matter to you. By the end of this presentation, you will not only know which app you should download, you will understand the why behind it. You'll have the confidence to make an informed decision, set up your account securely, and make your first purchase without that nagging fear that you're doing something wrong. To do this, we need a framework, a scorecard. We can't just go off of feelings or what's popular. So we're going to judge every single app on 6 critical criteria. I want you to burn these 6 things into your brain because they are the pillars of a good crypto platform. First, and most importantly for a beginner, is ease of use. Is the app intuitive? Is the design clean or cluttered? Can you figure out how to buy, sell, and send crypto without needing a 200-page manual? Some apps are designed for professional day traders, with complex charts and order types that will make your head spin. We are looking for the exact opposite. We want an app that feels as easy as using Venmo or Cash App, but with the powerful engine of a real exchange under the hood. Second on our list is fees. This is the silent killer. It's where platforms make their money, and it's where beginners lose the most. And let me tell you, it is a jungle out there. You have trading fees, which can be a flat fee or a percentage. You have deposit and withdrawal fees for moving your money in and out. But then you have the hidden fee, the one most people never talk about, the spread. The spread is the tiny difference between the price the app says you can buy at and the price they say you can sell at. On some zero-fee platforms, this spread can be enormous, costing you way more than a simple trading fee ever would. We are going to expose all of it. Third, and this is non-negotiable, is security. We're talking about your money and your personal information. How does this company protect you? Do they offer 2-factor authentication or 2FA to protect your login? Is the majority of their crypto held in offline cold storage, away from hackers? Do they have insurance? Do they have a bug bounty program to encourage white hat hackers to find vulnerabilities? We're going to look at their track record and see if they've ever been hacked, and more importantly, how they responded. You wouldn't put your money in a bank with a flimsy vault door, and you shouldn't put it on an exchange that treats security as an afterthought. Fourth is coin selection. While you might only be interested in Bitcoin or Ethereum right now, your curiosity will grow. Does the platform offer a healthy variety of reputable cryptocurrencies? Or are they just a glorified Bitcoin vending machine? We want a platform that gives you room to grow and explore other projects as you learn more. But we also want to avoid platforms that list hundreds of questionable, low-quality altcoins that could be scams. It's a delicate balance between variety and quality. Fifth, and this is crucial for our audience, is US regulation and compliance. Is this company legally allowed to operate in the United States and specifically in your state? New York, for example, has very strict rules with its BIT license. A platform that plays by the rules is a platform that is more likely to be around for the long haul. They are less likely to get shut down by regulators, leaving your funds in limbo. We will only be looking at platforms that are fully compliant and available to the vast majority of US residents. And finally, number 6, customer support. When things go wrong. And in crypto, things eventually go wrong. Is there a human you can talk to? Or are you stuck talking to a useless chatbot and waiting 3 weeks for an email reply? Can you pick up the phone and call someone? Do they have 24/7 live chat? We're going to test their support systems and see who actually shows up when you need them most. Because when your money is on the line, an automated email saying, "We've received your request," just doesn't cut it. So that's our battleground. Ease of use, fees, security, coin selection, US regulation, and customer support. I've personally used every single one of these platforms. I've deposited my own money, executed trades, tested their withdrawal speeds, and even deliberately created support tickets just to see how they'd respond. I've dug through their terms of service, their fee structures, and their security audits so you don't have to. The 3 main contenders we'll be breaking down in this series are the undisputed heavyweights for US beginners: Coinbase, Kraken, and Gemini. Each one has its own massive strengths and some surprising weaknesses. One is by far the easiest to use, but also carries some of the highest fees if you're not careful. Another offers incredible security and lower fees, but its interface can be a bit intimidating at first. And the third tries to strike a balance between them all, with a focus on regulation that is both a blessing and a curse. Your choice matters. The platform you pick will shape your entire experience. It can be the difference between a journey of excitement and empowerment and one of frustration and loss. So let's get this right from the very beginning. We're going to start with the one you've all heard of, the one that's often the first stop for every new investor in America, Coinbase. Is its reputation for simplicity deserved? And more importantly, what is that simplicity actually costing you? Let's find out. When you first open the Coinbase app, you immediately understand its power. There are no intimidating charts with flashing red and green lines. There are no order books with rapidly changing numbers that look like something out of the Matrix. Instead, it looks clean. It looks simple. Feels familiar. Feels a lot like your online banking app, and that is entirely by design. Coinbase spent a fortune to make your first step into the wild world of cryptocurrency feel as safe and boring as checking your savings account balance. The process is frictionless. You download the app, you enter your name and address, you verify your identity by taking a picture of your driver's license. A standard procedure for any regulated financial institution in the United States. And then comes the magic moment. You link your bank account. Within minutes, you can tap a big, friendly blue button that says buy, select Bitcoin or Ethereum, type in $50, and confirm the purchase. Just like that, you're a crypto investor. It's an incredibly seductive experience for a beginner because it removes the single biggest barrier to entry, fear. And a lot of that fear is alleviated by the fact that Coinbase is a publicly traded American company. It's listed on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange, right alongside Apple and Microsoft. It's based in the US, it answers to US regulators, and it has to play by US rules. For someone terrified of sending their money to some anonymous offshore entity, this is a massive green flag. They even provide FDIC insurance on your US dollar cash balances up to $250,000, just like a regular bank. This combination of a dead simple interface and the perceived safety of a regulated American company is the 1-2 punch that has made Coinbase the default starting point for millions. But we have to answer the question from before. What is that simplicity actually costing you? The answer, unfortunately, is a lot. It's costing you in fees. And this is where the friendly, simple interface starts to work against you, because it hides just how much you're paying for that convenience. When you make that simple one-tap purchase on the main Coinbase app, the one with the blue icon, you're actually getting hit with 2 different kinds of fees, often at the same time. The first is called the spread. This is a hidden fee. Coinbase essentially quotes you a price for Bitcoin that's slightly higher than the actual market price. The difference, usually around 0.5%, goes directly into their pocket. But that's just the appetizer. The main course is the Coinbase fee. This is a transaction fee that is either a flat fee for small amounts or a percentage for larger amounts, whichever is greater. Let's make this real. Say you want to buy $100 worth of Ethereum. First, the spread might take about 50 cents. Then, the Coinbase fee for a $100 transaction is typically $2.99. So, to buy $100 of crypto, you immediately lose about $3.50 or 3.5% of your investment right off the top. It's just gone. Before the price of Ethereum has even had a chance to move a single cent, your investment is already down 3.5%. If you're making small recurring buys, say $25 every week, the fees are even more brutal. A $25 purchase often comes with a $1.49 fee. That's a nearly 6% fee. You are paying a massive premium for that big blue buy button. This is the cost of simplicity. It's a tax on beginners. And for years, most people just paid it because they didn't know any better. But here's the secret that could save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars over your investing journey. There is a second Coinbase, a better Coinbase, hidden inside the one you're already using. It's called Coinbase Advanced. It used to be a separate app called Coinbase Pro, but they've now integrated it directly into the main app. You can access it right from the settings menu. Switching from simple to advanced trade is like walking through a secret door in a castle. Suddenly the interface changes. You'll see the charts. You'll see the order books. It looks more complex, and admittedly it can be a little intimidating at first. But the most important change is one you can't immediately see. The fees plummet. On Coinbase Advanced, you are no longer paying that outrageous combination of a spread and a flat fee. Instead, you're paying a simple percentage-based maker or taker fee. A taker is someone who buys or sells at the current market price, which is what most beginners will do. A maker is someone who sets a specific price they want to buy or sell at, and waits for the market to come to them. For our purposes, let's just focus on the taker fee, which is the higher of the two. So let's run our $100 Ethereum purchase again, but this time on Coinbase Advanced. The taker fee for a transaction of that size is typically around 0.6%. That's it. There's no separate spread, no punishing flat fee. Your total cost to buy $100 of Ethereum is now just 60 cents. Let that sink in. By tapping a few buttons in the settings menu and learning a slightly more complex interface, you just went from paying $3.50 in fees to paying just 60 cents. You saved almost $3 on a single small transaction. Now imagine doing that every week for a year. Or imagine you're investing $1,000. On the simple app, you'd pay around 1.5% or $15 plus the spread. On Advanced, you'd still pay just 0.6% or $6. It is, without a doubt, the single most important thing a Coinbase user needs to know. You are using the same company, the same security, the same account, but you are paying a fraction of the price. Now, fees aren't the only downside. Coinbase customer support has a notoriously bad reputation. While it has reportedly improved, stories are common of users having their accounts locked and waiting weeks for a response from a real human. When it's your money on the line, that can be a terrifying experience. And finally, there's the fundamental concept of crypto ownership. When you buy Bitcoin on Coinbase, you don't technically hold the Bitcoin yourself. Coinbase holds it for you, in their massive digital vaults. You just have an IOU. This is known in the crypto world by the saying, "Not your keys, not your coins." For a beginner, this is actually a feature, not a bug. It means you don't have to worry about losing a complex password and having your life savings disappear forever. But it also means you're trusting a third party, and if Coinbase were to have major issues, your funds could be at risk. This is a more advanced topic, but it's an important trade-off to understand. So, what's the final verdict on Coinbase for a US beginner? It is the ultimate on-ramp. It's the shallow end of the pool. If your absolute top priorities are ease of use, a sense of security, and the comfort of using a regulated, publicly traded US company, then Coinbase is an excellent place to start. It's perfect for the person who just wants to buy $100 of Bitcoin, see how it feels, and not get bogged down in complexity. But you must, and I cannot stress this enough, learn to use Coinbase Advanced as quickly as possible. Paying the simple trade fees is like setting your money on fire. It is simply not a sustainable way to invest. Coinbase, then, is the easy, safe, but expensive option. It holds your hand, but it picks your pocket while it does it. But what if you don't need your hand held? What if you're willing to trade a little bit of that slick, beginner-friendly interface for significantly lower fees and more powerful features right from day one? What if there was an exchange built by crypto purists, with a reputation for rock-solid security and customer support that is, by crypto standards, almost legendary? Well, that brings us to our next contender, Kraken. Founded way back in 2011 by the legendary and often outspoken Jesse Powell, Kraken isn't just an exchange, it's a crypto institution. Think of it this way, if a lot of the newer apps are Silicon Valley tech startups that happen to deal in crypto, Kraken is a crypto-native company that built a world-class tech platform. The DNA is just different. It was born from the ashes of Mt. Gox, the infamous first major Bitcoin exchange that collapsed after a catastrophic hack. Powell saw that disaster and said, "Never again." He built Kraken with a single obsessive-focused security. For over a decade, while other exchanges have fallen, been hacked, or vanished overnight, Kraken has stood like a fortress. It has never ever suffered a major platform-wide hack. In an industry where not your keys, not your coins is the mantra, Kraken has built the closest thing to a trusted digital vault. So what does this mean for you, the beginner? It means peace of mind, but it also means a slightly different experience. When you first open the Kraken app, it doesn't feel as bubbly as Coinbase. There are fewer bright colors, less gamification. It feels more serious, more professional. It treats you like an intelligent investor from the start, not just a consumer. The sign-up process is straightforward, requiring the usual identity verification to comply with US regulations. You'll upload your ID, and you'll be guided through different verification tiers. The starter level lets you get your feet wet, but you'll want to quickly move to intermediate to unlock the ability to deposit and withdraw US dollars from your bank account. Now, here's the most important thing to understand about Kraken, and it's a secret that will save you a ton of money. Kraken actually has two different platforms in one. There's the main simple Kraken app, and then there's Kraken Pro. The main app is designed for absolute simplicity. You want to buy $100 of Bitcoin? You tap a few buttons and it's done. It's clean, it's easy, and it's perfect for your very first transaction. But that convenience comes at a cost. The fees for these instant buy transactions are higher, typically around 1.5%, plus a small spread on the price. It's not outrageous, but it adds up. This is where Kraken Pro comes in. And don't let the Pro name scare you. This is the real engine of the exchange, and it's where you should aim to do all your buying and selling after your first 1 or 2 practice runs. Kraken Pro is available on both the web and as a separate mobile app, and it is a game changer. The interface looks more like a professional trading screen, with charts and order books, which can seem intimidating at first. But you can ignore almost all of it. All you need to focus on is the simple buy and sell function. The reason you use Pro is the fees. Instead of that 1.5%, the fees on Kraken Pro plummet to a fraction of a percent. We're talking 0.16% to 0.26%. On a $1,000 purchase, that's the difference between paying $15 in fees and paying about $2. This is the single biggest insider tip for using Kraken. Learn to use the Pro interface. It's the platform's superpower, and it's designed to grow with you. You start with simple market buys, and as you learn more, you have all the advanced tools you could ever need right there waiting for you without ever having to switch platforms. But the low fees on Pro are just the beginning. Kraken's real strength lies in its pillars of trust. First, security. I mentioned they've never been hacked, but it goes deeper. They were one of the first major exchanges to conduct regular, independent proof of reserves audits. This is a complex process, but it boils down to this. They bring in an outside firm to mathematically prove that they hold all of their customers' crypto one for one. After the collapse of companies like FTX, which were secretly gambling with customer funds, this isn't just a feature. It's a fundamental requirement for any platform you trust with your money. Kraken has been doing this for years, long before it was cool. Second, customer support. This is, without a doubt, Kraken's crown jewel. The crypto world is notorious for terrible customer service. You send an email into the void and pray for a response a week later. Not with Kraken. They offer 24/7/365 support through live chat and even by phone. Let me repeat that. You can pick up the phone and talk to a human being about your crypto account. If you're a beginner and you're nervous about sending a transaction, or you can't figure out a deposit, this is an absolute lifeline. This alone is worth its weight in gold, and is a primary reason why so many people become lifelong Kraken users. Third, staking. Once you've bought some crypto, you might want to put it to work. Staking is a way to earn rewards on your holdings, similar to earning interest in a savings account. Kraken makes this incredibly easy. With just a few clicks, you can stake certain cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, Cardano, or Polkadot and start earning passive income. Now, a quick heads up for US users. Due to regulatory pressure from the SEC, Kraken had to discontinue its staking services for US clients in 2023. While this was a setback, it doesn't affect their core buy sell/hold services, and it highlights a broader challenge in the US crypto market that affects all platforms. The key takeaway is Kraken complied with regulators. reinforcing their commitment to operating by the book. So what are the downsides? No platform is perfect. As I mentioned, the fees on the simple instant buy feature are high. If you're not savvy enough to switch over to Kraken Pro, you'll be overpaying. The user interface, while professional, can feel a bit dated or clunky compared to the hyper-slick designs of its competitors. It prioritizes function over form, which some people love, and others find less inspiring. And finally, their selection of coins, while robust, is more curated. They don't list every new hyped-up meme coin that appears. For a beginner, this is actually a strength. It protects you from many questionable projects. But for someone looking to speculate on more obscure altcoins, they might find Kraken's selection a bit limited. So who is Kraken for? Kraken is for the serious beginner. It's for the person who values security above all else. It's for the investor who plans to be in this for the long haul and wants a platform that can grow with them, from their first simple purchase to advanced trading and portfolio management. If Coinbase is the beautiful, welcoming lobby of a hotel, Kraken is the bank vault in the basement. It might not be as flashy, but you know your assets are secure. It's for the person who says, I want to do this right, I want to be protected, and I want to know there's a human I can call if something goes wrong. It's the choice for building a foundation of wealth, not just chasing a fleeting trend. But what if you're not the safe and steady type? What if you hear curated list of assets and think boring? What if you want the Wild West? What if you want a platform that feels less like a bank and more like a massive, sprawling digital bazaar with every crypto under the sun, offering complex products and a dizzying array of features? What if you're willing to trade some of that hand-holding for sheer, unadulterated access to the entire crypto ecosystem? For that, we have to look at a global giant, a name that is synonymous with crypto itself, Binance. But here's the catch, and it's a big one you absolutely need to know if you're in the United States. You've probably heard the name Binance in the news, on Twitter, everywhere. But the global Binance platform, the one with hundreds and hundreds of cryptocurrencies, it's not available to US residents. Trying to access it is a fast track to getting your account locked and your funds frozen. So what's the answer? It's a separate, distinct company called Binance US. Think of it as the American cousin to the global behemoth. It operates under US regulations, which means it's a completely different entity, with a different selection of coins and a different set of rules. Forgetting this distinction is one of the biggest mistakes a US beginner can make. So, when we talk about Binance from this point forward, we are exclusively talking about Binance.us. Now, with that critical warning out of the way, let's talk about who Binance.us is for. If Coinbase is the friendly, well-lit front door to crypto, Binance.us is the door to the engine room. It's for the person who has made their first few purchases, they've gotten their feet wet, and now they're starting to say, wait a minute. These fees on Coinbase are really starting to add up. And why can't I buy this other interesting coin my friend told me about? This is the core value proposition of Binance US. Dramatically lower fees and a wider selection of assets. Let's tackle the fees first, because this is where the difference is night and day. On Coinbase, especially for smaller purchases, you might be paying a flat fee plus a percentage which can easily eat up 2, 3, or even 4% of your purchase. Buy $100 of Bitcoin and you could lose $4 right off the top. Do that a few times a month, and you're leaving a significant amount of money on the table. Binance.us operates on a completely different model, what's known in the trading world as a maker-taker fee structure. Now, don't let the jargon scare you. It's actually pretty simple. A taker is someone who buys or sells at the current market price. You're taking the price that's available right now. Your order fills instantly. A maker is someone who sets a specific price they're willing to buy or sell at. For example, you say, I only want to buy Bitcoin if it drops to $60,000. Your order goes onto the books and waits. You are making a new market, adding liquidity for others. On Binance.us, the fees for both are incredibly low, starting at just 0.1% for takers and even less for makers. Let's put that into perspective. That $100 Bitcoin purchase that might have cost you $4 on Coinbase, on Binance.us it would cost you 10 cents. That's not a typo. 10 cents versus $4. When you start investing larger amounts or trading more frequently, this difference isn't just noticeable, it's monumental. It's the difference between your portfolio growing and your portfolio getting slowly eaten away by 1,000 tiny cuts. Furthermore, Binance.us has its own utility token called BNB. If you hold some BNB in your account and choose to pay your trading fees with it, you get an even bigger discount. This is a pro-level move that beginners can easily take advantage of to slash their costs even further. In the world of investing, fees are one of the only things you can control, and Binance.us gives you an incredible amount of control. The second major draw is the coin selection. While it doesn't have everything the global version has, Binance.us still offers access to significantly more cryptocurrencies than what you'll find on basic Coinbase. We're talking hundreds of different coins and tokens. This is where you go when you've graduated from just Bitcoin and Ethereum and want to explore the wider world of altcoins. These are the smaller, often higher risk but potentially higher reward projects in areas like decentralized finance, gaming, or data storage. Binance.us is your gateway to that next layer of the crypto ecosystem, allowing you to diversify into projects before they potentially become household names. So, incredibly low fees and a huge library of coins. What's the catch? Why wouldn't everyone just start here? The catch is complexity. Opening the Binance.us app for the first time after using Coinbase is like stepping out of a go-kart and into the cockpit of a fighter jet. There are charts, graphs, order books, and a dozen different options. Can be overwhelming. The simple buy/sell button is there, but the platform is really designed for active trading. It wants you to learn the difference between a market order and a limit order. A market order, like we said, is just buying at the current price. It's simple, but you might not get the best possible price if the market is moving quickly. A limit order, which is the preferred tool of serious traders, lets you set the exact price at which you want to buy or sell. It gives you precision and control, ensuring you don't overpay. Binance.us is built around empowering you with these tools, but it requires you to take the time to learn what they do. It also offers more advanced features like staking directly within the app. Staking is a way to earn rewards on your crypto, almost like earning interest in a savings account, by helping to secure the coin's network. Binance.us simplifies this process, allowing you to put your idle assets to work, earning you more crypto with just a few clicks. It's another feature that puts it a step above the absolute beginner platforms. So, who is the ideal Binance.us user? It's the cost-conscious investor. It's the person who plans on being active, maybe buying a little bit every week, and understands that paying high fees consistently is a losing game. It's the curious explorer who hears about new and interesting crypto projects and wants a reliable, low-cost platform to invest in them. It's for the person who is willing to trade the ultimate simplicity of a Coinbase for the power, control, and massive cost savings of a professional-grade exchange. You're accepting a steeper learning curve in exchange for a platform that won't hold you back as you become more experienced. However, we have to address the elephant in the room, the regulatory headlines. You have likely seen the name Binance associated with regulatory challenges and lawsuits around the world. It's crucial to remember that Binance US is a separate legal entity designed to comply with US law. That said, the brand association and the intense scrutiny on its global counterpart create a level of headline risk. While the platform is functional and serves millions of Americans, it's a factor that you should be aware of. It operates in a bit of a gray area in some states, with availability being a bit of a patchwork across the country. So you'll need to check if it's even available where you live. In summary, Binance US is the undisputed champion of low fees and wide coin selection for US users. It's a powerhouse platform that gives you the tools the pros use. But that power comes with a learning curve. It doesn't hold your hand. It expects you to learn, to understand the tools it's giving you, and to take control of your own trading. It's the perfect second step in a crypto journey, the platform you graduate into once you decide you're serious about this space and tired of paying unnecessary fees. But what if you could get the best of both worlds? What if there was a platform with fees that compete with Binance, but a reputation for security and customer support that is legendary in this space? A platform that bridges that gap between beginner-friendly and expert-powerful? For that, we have to unleash the Kraken. Kraken isn't just an exchange, it's a legend. Born in 2011, it's one of the oldest and most respected names in the entire crypto industry. If Coinbase is the friendly Silicon Valley startup and Binance is the sprawling global empire, then Kraken is the grizzled, battle-hardened veteran that has seen it all. It survived the collapse of Mt. Gox. In fact, its founder, Jesse Powell, created Kraken specifically because he saw the disaster of Mt. Gox unfolding and knew the world needed a secure, reliable, and trustworthy place to trade digital assets. Kraken has weathered multiple brutal bear markets, exchange hacks that took down its competitors, and regulatory storms that have sunk lesser ships. And through it all, it has never, not once, been hacked. Let me repeat that because it's one of the most important sentences in this entire video. Kraken has never been hacked. In an industry where exchange hacks are tragically common, that record is not an accident. It's a philosophy. They call themselves a security-first company, and they live and breathe it. So what does this mean for you, the beginner? It means when you put your money on Kraken, you are entrusting it to a platform that prioritizes its safety above all else. They were one of the very first exchanges to pioneer something called a proof of reserves audit. This is a complex process, but the concept is simple. It's Kraken opening up its books to an independent auditor to prove, cryptographically, that they hold all of their customers' funds, one for one. They aren't lending it out, they aren't playing games with it. If you have 1 Bitcoin on Kraken, they have 1 Bitcoin in their secure vaults for you. It's the gold standard for transparency, and they've been doing it for years, long before it became a hot topic after other exchanges collapsed. Now, when you first open the Kraken app, you might think it looks a little dated. It doesn't have the same slick, minimalist design as Coinbase. It can feel a bit more crowded, a bit more professional. And that's because Kraken serves two masters. It has a simple, straightforward buy crypto interface, which works much like Coinbase. You pick your coin, enter the dollar amount, and hit buy. Easy. The fees on this simple interface are also similar to Coinbase. You pay a bit extra for that convenience. But the real magic, the reason seasoned investors swear by Kraken, is its other side, Kraken Pro. Kraken Pro is their full-featured, professional trading platform, and here's the secret. It's available to every single Kraken user for free. It's not some exclusive club, and you don't have to be a pro to use it. You just have to be willing to spend 10 minutes learning how it works. On Kraken Pro, the entire fee structure changes. Instead of a flat percentage or a spread, you get access to a maker-taker fee model. This sounds complicated, but it's not. A taker is someone who buys or sells at the current market price. Instantly. You are taking liquidity off the books. For this, you pay a very small fee, starting at around 0.26%. A maker is someone who sets their own price. You put in a limit order to buy Bitcoin, but only if it drops to a certain price. By doing this, you are making a market, adding liquidity for others. For this, Kraken rewards you with an even lower fee, starting at just 0.16%. Let's put that into real dollars. Imagine you want to buy $1,000 worth of Ethereum. On Coinbase simple interface, after the spread and the fee, you might pay around $15 to $20 for that transaction. On Kraken's simple interface, it would be similar. But if you switch over to the Kraken Pro interface, which is just a different tab on their website or a separate free app, and place that same $1,000 order, your fee could be as low as $1.60. That's a tenfold difference. That's money that stays in your pocket, compounding your investment. Over dozens or hundreds of trades, this doesn't just save you a little money. It can fundamentally change the performance of your portfolio. The ability to graduate from the simple interface to the pro interface without ever leaving the platform is Kraken's superpower. You can start simple, and as you learn and grow more confident, you can move to the pro version to slash your fees, all within the same secure ecosystem. It's a platform you grow into, not out of. But security and low fees are only two pillars of the Kraken trifecta. The third is customer support. This might be the single most underrated feature when choosing an exchange, until the moment you desperately need it. We've all heard the horror stories. People getting locked out of their accounts on other platforms, sending desperate emails into a void, only to get an automated response from a bot 3 days later, while their life savings hang in the balance. Kraken is the antidote to that nightmare. They offer 24/7, 365-day-a-year support through live chat and even by phone. You can talk to a real, knowledgeable human being, often within minutes. This is an absolute game changer. If you have a problem with a deposit, a question about a trade, or a security concern, you have a direct line to someone who can help. For beginners who are understandably nervous about navigating this new world, that peace of mind is priceless. It's a safety net that most other platforms simply do not offer at this level. Beyond these core pillars, Kraken offers a fantastic suite of other features. Their coin selection is vast, but also curated. They don't just list every new hyped-up coin that comes along. Their listing process is famously rigorous, which can offer a layer of protection for new investors who might be tempted by riskier assets. They also have one of the best staking platforms in the business. Staking is a way to earn rewards on your crypto, similar to earning interest in a savings account. On Kraken, you can stake dozens of different cryptocurrencies with just a few clicks and start earning passive income on your long-term holdings. It's simple, secure, and a powerful way to make your assets work for you. So who is Kraken for? Kraken is for the serious beginner. It's for the person who says, "I'm new to this, but I want to do it right. I want to learn." It's for the investor who prioritizes the security of their funds above all else. It's for the cost-conscious individual who understands that minimizing fees is a key to long-term success. And it's for anyone who wants the assurance that if something goes wrong, a real human being is there to pick up the phone. It might not be the absolute simplest platform on day one, but it is arguably the best all-around platform for an American investor's entire crypto journey, from their first $10 purchase to their 10,000th trade. It's the fortress of security with the engine of a professional trading firm inside. We've now looked at 3 distinct types of centralized platforms: the simple on-ramp, the global trading behemoth, and the security-focused veteran. They are all fantastic ways to buy, sell, and hold cryptocurrency, but they all share one thing in common. When you use them, you are trusting them to hold your assets for you. They have the keys, you have an IOU. This is convenient, but it's not the original vision of crypto. The true revolution of this technology is the power of self-custody, the ability to be your own bank. But to do that, you need to step outside the walled gardens of these exchanges. You need a different kind of tool entirely. You need a wallet. And if you want to truly unlock the vast, wild, and wonderful world of decentralized finance, from NFTs to lending protocols, there is one wallet that stands above all others, the undisputed king that acts as your passport to this new digital frontier. For that, we need to meet the fox. That fox, with its sharp geometric features, is the logo for MetaMask. And it's not an app in the same way Coinbase or Kraken are. It's not an exchange. It's not a place you go to buy crypto with your debit card. It is something far more fundamental. MetaMask is a key, a master key that unlocks the door to a completely different internet, what people call Web3. To understand why this is so revolutionary, we need to take one step back. When you buy Bitcoin on Coinbase, who actually holds it? The answer is Coinbase. They hold it for you in their massive secure digital vaults. You see a balance in your account, and you can trade it or sell it, but you don't possess the actual cryptographic keys to those specific coins. This is called a custodial service. They are the custodian of your assets. It's simple, it's convenient, and for most beginners, it's the perfect place to start. But the core philosophy of cryptocurrency is sovereignty, self-ownership. The idea that you and you alone should have absolute control over your money without needing to ask a bank or a company for permission. This is where you hear the famous crypto mantra. Not your keys, not your crypto. MetaMask is your first step into holding your own keys. It's what's known as a self-custody or non-custodial wallet. When you create a MetaMask wallet, it generates a unique, secret set of 12 words. This is your seed phrase, sometimes called a recovery phrase. And I need you to listen very, very carefully right now. This 12-word phrase is not a password. It is everything. It is the master key to your entire crypto life. Anyone in the world who gets access to this phrase can take all of your funds, and there is no one you can call to get them back. There is no forgot my password button. There is no customer support line. You are the bank. This is both terrifying and incredibly empowering. And it's the price of admission to the world of decentralized finance, or DeFi. So what is MetaMask practically? It lives as a browser extension on your computer, think Chrome, Firefox, or Brave, and as a mobile app on your phone. It's a bridge. It allows your regular browser to talk to the blockchain. When you go to a Web3 website like a decentralized art gallery or a decentralized lending platform, a little fox icon will pop up, asking for your permission to connect. With one click, your wallet is connected, and you've just logged into the new internet. No email, no password, just your wallet. Your wallet becomes your identity, your inventory, and your bank account, all in one. Let's make this real. Imagine you bought some Ethereum on Kraken, sitting there in your Kraken account. That's great, but it can't do much. It's like having cash locked in a safe deposit box at the bank. To actually use it in the DeFi world, you need to withdraw it to a wallet you control. You would send that Ethereum from Kraken to your unique MetaMask wallet address. The moment it arrives in your MetaMask, the world opens up. Suddenly, you can go to a decentralized exchange like Uniswap. This is a platform where you can trade thousands of different cryptocurrencies, many of which are too new or too small to be listed on Coinbase. There's no company in the middle. It's just code, a smart contract, connecting buyers and sellers directly. You connect your MetaMask, choose what you want to trade, approve the transaction, and boom. The new crypto appears in your wallet, and the old one is gone. You just performed a financial transaction with no middleman. anywhere in the world. Or maybe you want to earn interest on your crypto. You could go to a lending protocol like Aave. Here you can deposit your crypto into a lending pool and start earning yield, paid out by people who borrow from that pool. Again, you just connect your MetaMask wallet, deposit your funds, and watch your balance grow in real time. You're not dealing with the bank. You're interacting directly with the protocol on the blockchain. And then, of course, there are NFTs, non-fungible tokens. This is the world of digital art, collectibles, and gaming items. To buy an NFT on the biggest marketplace, OpenSea, you don't create an account with a password. You guessed it, you connect your MetaMask wallet. Your wallet is how you bid, how you buy, and where your NFT is stored after you purchase it. It becomes your personal, portable gallery of digital assets. This is the power of MetaMask. It is the universal passport for Web3. It's your key to a global permissionless financial system that is being built right now, piece by piece. But with this great power comes immense responsibility. I cannot stress this enough. The number one reason people lose money in DeFi is not because of bad investments. It's because of poor security practices with their self-custody wallet. So, if you decide to set up a MetaMask, you must follow these rules as if your life depends on it, because your financial life might. Rule number 1. When you create your wallet, it will show you your 12-word seed phrase. You must write this down on a piece of paper, or 2 pieces of paper, or etch it into a piece of metal. Store it somewhere safe where no one can find it. A fireproof safe is a good idea. Never, ever, under any circumstances, store it digitally. Do not take a screenshot. Do not save it in a text file on your computer. Do not email it to yourself or put it in your password manager. The most sophisticated hackers in the world are constantly creating viruses designed to scan your computer for anything that looks like a 12-word seed phrase. If you store it digitally, you should consider it already stolen. Rule number 2. No one will ever ask you for your seed phrase. Not MetaMask support. Not a friendly stranger in a Discord chat offering to help you. Not an official-looking website promising you free crypto. The moment someone asks for your seed phrase, they are trying to rob you. It is a scam 100% of the time. There are no exceptions. Rule number 3. Be careful what you sign. When you interact with a DeFi application, MetaMask will pop up and ask you to sign a transaction or approve a contract. Read what it's asking you to do. If you're on a shady website and it asks you to approve giving it access to all the funds in your wallet, don't do it. Stick to well-known, reputable applications, especially when you're starting out. Being your own bank means you are also your own head of security. It's a steep learning curve, and it's not for everyone. If this sounds too stressful, there is absolutely no shame in keeping your crypto on a reputable exchange like Coinbase or Kraken. Security and peace of mind are priceless. But if you are ready to explore the frontier, to see what this technology is truly capable of, then downloading MetaMask is your rite of passage. It is the tool that transforms you from a passive investor into an active participant in the crypto revolution. While it was originally built for the Ethereum network, it has now expanded to support a vast ecosystem of other compatible blockchains, like Polygon, Avalanche, and Arbitrum, making it more versatile than ever. So, to recap our journey so far, we have our trusted, beginner-friendly on-ramps, our exchanges like Coinbase and Kraken. They are the regulated, insured, and easy-to-use airports where you first arrive in the world of crypto. And now we have our passport and our master key, MetaMask. It's the tool that lets you leave the airport and explore the sprawling, sometimes chaotic, but endlessly fascinating new digital city of Web3. But there's a problem. Using these decentralized applications on Ethereum can be expensive. Every transaction, every trade, every interaction costs a fee, known as a gas fee. And during busy times, these fees can be shockingly high, sometimes making small transactions completely impractical. This has been one of the biggest barriers to entry for newcomers. But what if there was a way to get all the benefits of crypto, the speed, the global access, the low fees, but in an app that feels as simple and familiar as Venmo or Cash App? An app that's built for the speed of life, not just for the patient investor. For that, we need to look at an app that's taking a radically different approach, one built on a blockchain designed for billions of users, not just thousands. We need to talk about the lightning-fast world of Solana and its breakout wallet, Phantom. So, if Coinbase and Kraken are the airports where you first arrive in the world of crypto, Phantom is the key to a high-speed maglev train that takes you to a completely different, futuristic city. That city is called Solana. To understand Phantom, you first have to understand why Solana even exists. For years, the crypto world was dominated by Ethereum. It's the original smart contract blockchain, the foundation for thousands of projects. But it has a problem. A big one. It's slow and it's expensive. Imagine trying to drive through downtown Manhattan at 5 p.m. on a Friday. That's Ethereum on a busy day. Every single car or transaction is stuck in gridlock. And to get anywhere, you have to pay an insanely high toll. What crypto calls a gas fee. We're talking $50, $60, sometimes over $100 just to do one thing. For a beginner with a couple $100, paying a $50 fee is a complete non-starter. Your journey is over before it even begins. Solana was built to solve this. It's the brand new 16-lane superhighway built next to that gridlock city. It's designed for staggering speed, capable of handling tens of thousands of transactions per second, not 15. And the tolls? We're not talking dollars. We're talking fractions of a penny. This single difference changes everything. It opens the door for applications that were simply impossible on Ethereum. It makes crypto accessible for experimentation, for learning, for a user who just wants to try things out without risking a week's worth of groceries on a single transaction fee. And Phantom is your driver's license and your car keys for this new highway. It is, to put it simply, the most popular wallet for the Solana ecosystem. But it's a very different kind of app than Coinbase or Kraken. Phantom is what's called a non-custodial, or self-custody wallet. This is one of the most important concepts you will ever learn in crypto, so listen closely. When you use Coinbase, they hold your crypto for you. It's like putting your money in a bank. The bank guards it, and you trust them to give it back when you ask. This is called custodial. But in the world of crypto, there's a famous saying, "Not your keys, not your crypto." It means if you don't personally hold the secret keys to your digital assets, you don't truly own them. You're trusting a third party. A self-custody wallet like Phantom flips that script entirely. It's not a bank. It's your own personal digital vault. You hold the keys. You are the bank. When you set up Phantom for the first time, it will generate something called a secret recovery phrase. This is a unique list of 12 words. These 12 words are the master key to all of your funds in that wallet. They are everything. Let me be crystal clear. If you lose this 12-word phrase, your crypto is gone. Forever. There is no forgot password link. There is no customer support number to call to get it back. It is permanently, irreversibly lost. Conversely, if anyone else in the world gets their hands on that 12-word phrase, they can instantly drain your wallet from anywhere on the planet, and there is nothing you can do to stop them. So you must treat this phrase with the utmost seriousness. Write it down on a piece of paper. Never, ever, under any circumstances, store it in a text file on your computer, in an email to yourself, or as a screenshot in your photos. Hackers specifically hunt for these digital files. Store the physical paper in a safe, a safety deposit box, or somewhere no one would ever think to look. This responsibility is the price of true ownership, of being your own bank. It's terrifying, but it's also incredibly empowering. Once you've secured your secret phrase and stepped past that gate, the Phantom experience is beautiful. It's clean, intuitive, and built for humans. Your assets are laid out clearly. You can see your tokens, but where Phantom really shines is in its other tabs. It has a gorgeous gallery for your NFTs, or non-fungible tokens. While NFTs on other blockchains felt clunky, Phantom was one of the first wallets to make collecting digital art feel as intuitive as browsing photos on your phone. It also has a built-in swap feature. This means you can trade one type of Solana token for another right inside the wallet with just a couple of clicks. You don't have to connect to a complicated external website. It's seamless and incredibly fast. You can also stake your Solana directly within the app. Staking is a way to earn rewards on your crypto by helping to secure the network. Think of it like earning interest in a high-yield savings account. Phantom makes this process, which can be complex on other platforms, as simple as pressing a button. But the real power of Phantom is in its little compass icon, the gateway to the world of decentralized applications, or dApps. These are apps built on the blockchain. They're the crypto version of the App Store. By using the browser inside Phantom, you can connect your wallet to thousands of new and exciting projects. You can interact with decentralized finance platforms to lend or borrow money. You can play blockchain-based games where you actually own your in-game items. You can explore new social media platforms that reward you for your content. This is why Phantom is so crucial for a US beginner. It's your ticket to the frontier. Because of Solana's low fees, you can afford to be curious. You can try out a new dApp, make a small trade, buy your first NFT, all for a few cents. You're not just buying and holding an asset, you're using it. You're participating in this new digital economy. Now it's not all sunshine and roses. The Solana highway has had its share of traffic jams. The network has experienced several outages in the past, moments where it completely stopped processing transactions. It's the trade-off for pushing the boundaries of speed. While it has become much more stable, it's still a younger, more experimental technology than Ethereum, and that risk is real. Some critics also argue that to achieve its speed, Solana is less decentralized than Ethereum, meaning the network is run by fewer, more powerful entities. And finally, the double-edged sword of self-custody is always present. You are in complete control, which means you are completely responsible for your own security. So, Phantom isn't an app for your first ever $100 Bitcoin purchase. That's still Coinbase territory. Instead, Phantom is for the beginner who's ready for step 2. It's for the person who's asking, okay, I own some crypto, now what can I do with it? It's a beautifully designed, low-cost portal to one of the most vibrant and innovative ecosystems in the entire crypto space. It's less of an investment app and more of a passport to a new digital nation. So we have the simple on-ramp with Coinbase, the Pro Traders Toolkit with Kraken, and the high-speed portal to a new frontier with Phantom. But what if you want the best of all worlds? An app that lets you buy, trade, stake, and explore Web3, all under one roof, but with a philosophy that puts security and user ownership above all else? For that, we need to look at the app that's not just an exchange or a wallet, but a full-blown financial operating system. We need to talk about Crypto.com and its ambitious vision. So what does that vision look like in practice? Imagine you don't just have a crypto app. Imagine you have a key to an entire digital city. In this city, there's a bank, a stock exchange, a debit card provider, and a vault for your most precious assets. The catch? It's all interconnected, and it all runs on crypto. That city, for better or for worse, is Crypto.com. When you first open the main Crypto.com app, it feels different. It's slick, it's modern, it's bathed in a deep blue. And it feels more like a high-tech banking app than a simple crypto exchange. And that's by design. They aren't just trying to sell you Bitcoin. They're trying to integrate crypto into every facet of your financial life. The main app is your entry point, your passport to this city. Buying and selling crypto here is straightforward. Maybe not as dead simple as Coinbase's main interface, but still very accessible for a beginner. You can see your portfolio, track prices, and make a purchase in just a few taps. But to stop there is to miss the entire point of Crypto.com. The first and most powerful bridge they build between the old world of finance and this new one is something you can actually hold in your hand: their Visa debit card. This isn't some niche, hard-to-use crypto card. It's a heavy metal, prepaid Visa card that works anywhere Visa is accepted. And this is their killer feature. The concept is revolutionary for a beginner. You top up the card either with dollars from your bank or by selling some of your crypto, and you spend it just like any other debit card. You buy groceries, you pay for gas, you grab a coffee, and with every single swipe you earn rewards. Not points, not airline miles. You earn cryptocurrency back, paid in their native token, Chronos or CRO. This single feature fundamentally changes the game. It makes crypto tangible. It's no longer just a number on a screen. It's the reason you just got 2% back on your weekly shopping trip. The card tiers are famous, starting with the free Midnight Blue, and going all the way up to the legendary Obsidian. To unlock the better cards like the popular Ruby Steel or Royal Indigo, you have to buy and lock up a certain dollar amount of their CRO token for 6 months. For example, to get the Ruby card, you might need to stake $400 worth of CRO. In return, you get a higher percentage of CRO back on your spending and even perks like a full rebate on your Spotify subscription. This is genius marketing, but it's also a powerful incentive. It immediately makes you a stakeholder in their ecosystem. Your rewards, your benefits are now tied to the success of their platform. But the card is just the front door to the city. Once you're inside, you start to see how vast this ecosystem really is. You'll quickly notice that for more serious trading, the main app isn't ideal. The prices you see when you hit buy or sell have something called a spread baked in, which is essentially a hidden fee. It's the price of convenience. For those who want to level up, Crypto.com offers a completely separate platform, the Crypto.com exchange. This is their version of Coinbase Advanced or Kraken Pro. It's a professional-grade trading venue with much lower fees, advanced order types, and deeper liquidity. It's the financial district of our digital city, a place for more sophisticated users to trade assets efficiently. The seamless transfer of funds between the main app and the exchange shows their intent. Start simple, then grow with us. But what about that promise of user ownership and true decentralization? That's where the third pillar of their ecosystem comes in. The Crypto.com DeFi wallet. This is not just another feature. It's a philosophical statement. It is a completely separate app that is non-custodial. Let me repeat that. Non-custodial. This means you, and only you, control the private keys to your crypto. Remember the saying, not your keys, not your crypto? When your coins are on the main app or the exchange, Crypto.com is the custodian like a bank. But when you move them to the DeFi wallet, you become your own bank. This is a massive step. It gives you the power to interact directly with the world of decentralized finance, or DeFi. You can lend, borrow, and swap tokens on decentralized exchanges without a middleman. It's where you truly own your assets. For a beginner, this can be daunting, but it represents the ultimate destination in the crypto journey. Complete financial sovereignty. Crypto.com provides the easy, custodial on-ramp with their main app, and then gives you the tools to graduate to self-custody when you're ready. And the ecosystem just keeps expanding. There's Crypto Earn, a feature in the main app that lets you deposit your crypto and earn interest, like a high-yield savings account. The rates can be incredibly attractive compared to traditional banks, offering another way to make your assets work for you. There's Crypto.com Pay, which lets you pay merchants with crypto and get cash back. There's even an NFT marketplace. Each of these products is a different building in the city, designed to keep you within their walls. The fuel for this entire metropolis is their token CRO. It's the currency of the city. You stake it to get the best card benefits. You use it to get lower trading fees on the exchange. You use it to participate in special events. This utility is what gives the token its value. But it's also the system's greatest vulnerability. The value of your card stake, the rebates you earn, and the trading discounts you receive are all directly tied to the volatile price of a single cryptocurrency. If the price of CRO plummets, so does the real-world value of your benefits. And this brings us to the critical downsides, the darker alleys in our gleaming crypto city. First, the complexity. 3 separate apps, the main app, the exchange, and the DeFi wallet, can be incredibly confusing for a newcomer. Understanding which app to use for which task is a learning curve in itself. Second, as we mentioned, are the spreads in the main app. Unsuspecting beginners can lose a significant percentage on every trade without even realizing they're paying a fee. It's crucial to graduate to the exchange as soon as you feel comfortable. And finally, the most significant risk, trust. Crypto.com has, in the past, changed the rules of the game with very little warning. They have drastically reduced the card reward rates and altered the staking requirements, which left many long-term users feeling betrayed. This is the central bargain of their system. You are betting on the company to continue providing the benefits that drew you in. They built a magnificent city, but they can change the laws whenever they see fit. So, who is Crypto.com for? It's for the person who sees the big picture. It's for the beginner who is so excited by the promise of crypto that they want to dive into the deep end. They want one platform that can do it all, from buying their first $100 of Bitcoin, to earning crypto back on their daily coffee, to eventually taking self-custody of their assets in a DeFi wallet. It's for the user who is willing to accept the complexity and the risks of a centralized ecosystem in exchange for an unparalleled suite of features that bridges the gap between crypto and the real world like no other. It's an all-in-one financial super app, but it demands a higher level of engagement and a healthy dose of caution from its citizens. But what if you don't want to live in a city built by a single company? What if you want the absolute lowest fees, a platform built by traders for traders that prioritizes function over flash? For that, we turn to the titan of the trading world, a platform that has earned its reputation through sheer performance and reliability. We need to examine Kraken. Kraken isn't just an exchange, it's an institution. Founded way back in 2011 by Jesse Powell, it's a true OG of the crypto world. Think about that for a second. 2011. Bitcoin was barely 2 years old. Most people thought it was magic internet money for nerds and criminals. While other exchanges were popping up and getting hacked into oblivion, Kraken was quietly building a fortress. And that's the key word you need to associate with Kraken: fortress. In an industry littered with the skeletons of collapsed companies and billion-dollar hacks, Kraken has one of the most astonishing track records in existence. It has never, ever been hacked. Not once. While Mt. Gox was imploding and losing 850,000 Bitcoin, Kraken was helping to process the claims. While other modern, flashy apps were going down during peak bull market volatility, Kraken's trading engine just kept humming along. This isn't an accident. It's a philosophy. Security isn't a feature at Kraken. It is the entire foundation upon which the company is built. So what does this fortress look like when you, a beginner, step inside? Well, it's not going to feel like the slick, gamified lobby of Robinhood or even the clean Apple-esque storefront of Coinbase. The standard Kraken interface is functional. It's clean, it's direct, but it can feel a little corporate. A little dated, even. It's not designed to give you a dopamine hit every time you open it. It's designed to do one thing exceptionally well: allow you to buy, sell, and secure digital assets with confidence. But here is where the Kraken ecosystem reveals its genius. And it's a critical concept for you to understand. There isn't just one Kraken, there are two. There's the standard Kraken app, which is perfectly fine for your first few buys. It has simple buy crypto buttons and an easy-to-navigate portfolio view. It's the shallow end of the pool, letting you get your feet wet. But right next to it is the Olympic-sized diving pool, Kraken Pro. Kraken Pro is a separate app and web interface, and it is, without a doubt, one of the most respected trading platforms in the world. And the best part? Your same account works on both. This creates a perfect growth path. You can start on the simple app, and when you feel you're ready to move beyond basic buying and selling, you don't have to switch exchanges. You just graduate. You open Kraken Pro and unlock a world of professional-grade tools, advanced charting, and most importantly, drastically lower fees. Let's talk about those fees, because this is where Kraken Pro demolishes the simple buy competition. On the standard Kraken app, if you use the instant buy feature with your bank account or card, the fees are high. They're in the same ballpark as the basic Coinbase platform. A combination of a spread and a flat transaction fee that can eat away at your investment. It's the price you pay for convenience. But on Kraken Pro, everything changes. It uses a maker-taker fee model, which sounds complicated but is actually quite simple. If you place an order that gets filled immediately, you're a taker, and you pay a small fee. For most beginners, this is what you'll be doing. And that fee on Kraken Pro starts at a mere 0.26%. Let me say that again, 0.26%. Compare that to the 1.5% or more you might pay on the simple interfaces. That's a reduction of over 80%. On a $1,000 investment, that's the difference between paying $15 in fees and paying $2.60. Over a lifetime of investing, this difference is astronomical. This is the secret that separates casual participants from serious investors. They refuse to get eaten alive by fees. Kraken Pro is your gateway to that mindset. And while you're saving all that money on fees, you're protected by what is arguably the most robust security in the retail crypto space. We already mentioned their flawless, never-hacked record, but it goes deeper. Long before the collapse of FTX made it a desperate marketing buzzword, Kraken was pioneering something called proof of reserves. This is a regular, independent, cryptographically verified audit that proves Kraken holds every single dollar of its customers' assets, one-to-one, in secure cold storage. They're not just telling you your money is safe, they are publicly and repeatedly proving it. In a world of smoke and mirrors, this level of transparent accountability is the ultimate peace of mind. It's the reason why, when the market panics and people flee other platforms, they often run to Kraken. They know it's the digital bunker that will withstand the storm. Beyond security and fees, Kraken offers a fantastic suite of features. Their customer support is legendary, with 24/7 live chat and even phone support, which is almost unheard of. When you have a problem, you can talk to a real, knowledgeable human being, not just an unhelpful chatbot. Their coin selection for US customers is extensive, featuring hundreds of vetted, high-quality projects. And then there's staking. If you're a long-term investor, Kraken is one of the best places to be. Staking is a way to earn rewards, almost like interest, on your crypto holdings by helping to secure the network. Kraken makes this process incredibly simple. With just a few clicks, you can stake your assets right from your wallet and start earning passive income. The rates are competitive, and it's a powerful tool for growing your portfolio over time without having to do any active trading. So, who is Kraken for? Kraken is for the investor who prioritizes security above all else. It's for the person who lies awake at night worrying about headlines of exchange hacks and wants to know their life savings are in a digital Fort Knox. It's for the beginner who has the ambition to become more than a beginner. The person who wants a platform that will grow with them, from their first $100 Bitcoin purchase on the simple app to complex, low-fee trading strategies on the Pro version. It is not for the user who wants a fun, gamified experience. It's not for the person who wants their crypto, stocks, and banking all in one place. Kraken is a specialist, It is a pure, unadulterated, professional-grade cryptocurrency exchange. The learning curve for Kraken Pro might be a little steeper than Coinbase Advanced, but the reward is a feeling of unparalleled security and the satisfaction of knowing you're using a platform trusted by the pros. We've now laid out the big three for US beginners. Robinhood, the jack-of-all-trades stock app that dipped its toes into crypto. Coinbase, the user-friendly giant that has become the public face of the industry. And Kraken, the security-obsessed veteran, the silent guardian. Each has its fortress of strengths and its Achilles heel. So how do you possibly choose? How do you weigh ease of use against fees? Security against coin selection? In our final part, we're going to put it all together. We'll build the ultimate decision-making matrix, a personal checklist that will point you directly to the perfect platform for you. This is the moment where the rubber meets the road. We've talked about features, fees, security, and selection. But none of that matters if it doesn't connect to your personal goals. So let's build that matrix not on a spreadsheet but in your mind. We're going to define 4 main types of crypto beginners. Find yourself in one of these descriptions, and your perfect app will become crystal clear. First, are you the set it and forget it investor? Your mantra is simplicity. You've heard about Bitcoin and Ethereum, and you want a simple, reliable way to buy a little bit every week or every month. You're not trying to time the market. You're not interested in complex charts or 50 different altcoins. You have a busy life and you want your crypto investing to take 5 minutes a week max. You value a clean, intuitive, almost brain-dead simple interface above all else. And you're willing to pay a slight premium in fees for that convenience. If this is you, your primary choices are the standard versions of Coinbase and Gemini. They are designed for this exact purpose. Their user experience is polished to a mirror shine. Buying crypto on these apps feels like using any other modern finance app. Yes, the fees on their simple one-click buy buttons are higher, but you're not paying for the transaction. You're paying for the peace of mind and the removal of all friction. For the ultimate bare-bones simplicity, you could even consider apps like Cash App or Robinhood, but be keenly aware of their limitations regarding coin selection and the ability to move your crypto off the platform, which is a critical feature you should demand. For the set-it-and-forget-it investor, the extra cost is the price of admission for a hassle-free experience. Next, are you the curious explorer? You're fascinated by the entire crypto ecosystem. You've heard of projects beyond the big two, maybe names like Solana, Cardano, or Polkadot. You see crypto as more than just an investment. It's a new frontier of technology, and you want to explore it. You want access to a wide variety of vetted, legitimate projects. You're willing to navigate a slightly more complex app, but you still want a platform that does some of the safety checking for you. If you're an explorer, your best bets are Kraken and the standard version of Coinbase. Both of these platforms have a much wider selection of cryptocurrencies than, say, Gemini. They have a rigorous vetting process for listing new coins, which acts as a crucial first line of defense against the scams and worthless projects that litter the crypto space. You get the thrill of discovery without having to navigate the wild west of decentralized exchanges on day one. Kraken, in particular, often gets praised for its broader selection of promising up-and-coming projects. You'll have a playground of assets to research and learn about, all within the safety of a regulated, established exchange. Third, are you the trader in training? You're competitive. You're analytical. The idea of just buying and holding is boring to you. You want to understand the charts, the order books, the market dynamics. You're not just investing, you want to trade. You understand that frequent trading means fees can eat you alive. So your number one priority is finding the lowest possible transaction costs. You are absolutely willing to climb a steeper learning curve if it means saving significant money and gaining more control. If this is you, then you must ignore the simple basic versions of the apps. You need to go straight to the advanced platforms, Coinbase Advanced or Kraken Pro. These are not separate apps. They are the professional-grade trading interfaces hidden within the standard apps. The moment you switch over, the entire world changes. The simple buy button is replaced with the real trading dashboard. You'll see charts, order books, and different order types like limit and stop-loss orders. It looks intimidating at first, but this is where the magic happens. The fees drop from percentages down to fractions of a percent. We're talking a potential difference of 90% or more on every single trade. Learning this interface is the single most important thing you can do to save money on your crypto journey. This is graduating from the kiddie pool to the Olympic swimming lanes. It is the most critical leap for anyone serious about costs. Finally, are you the security maximalist? You've read the horror stories of exchange hacks and people losing their life savings. Your top, middle, and bottom priority is safety. You want the platform that is the most regulated, the most transparent, and has the strongest security track record. You'd rather have fewer features and a smaller coin selection if it means you can sleep soundly at night knowing your assets are as secure as possible. If you're a security maximalist, Gemini should be at the top of your list. Their entire brand is built on trust, security, and regulatory compliance, often going above and beyond what is required in the US. They were one of the first to complete rigorous security examinations and offer insurance on customer deposits. Kraken also deserves a very strong mention here. They have a flawless security record, have never been hacked, and are incredibly transparent about their security practices, including regular proof of reserves audits. For you, it's not about the flashiest app or the lowest fees. It's about the institutional-grade security and the long-term reputation of the company you're entrusting with your capital. Now here's the secret. Most of us are a hybrid. You might start as a set-it-and-forget-it investor and slowly become a curious explorer. You might be a security maximalist who also wants to become a trader in training. And that is perfectly okay. Your first app does not have to be your forever app. The goal is to start with the one that best fits you right now. So let's run through your personal checklist. Ask yourself these 4 questions. 1. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do I value an extremely simple, beginner-friendly interface? If your answer is an 8, 9, or 10, you should be looking squarely at the standard versions of Coinbase or Gemini. Your journey starts there. 2. How important is it for me to buy coins other than Bitcoin and Ethereum in my first 6 months? If your answer is very important, then Kraken and Coinbase are your primary contenders due to their wider, yet still curated selection. 3. Am I willing to watch a 30-minute tutorial to learn a more advanced interface if it will save me over 90% on fees for the rest of my life? If your answer is a resounding yes, then you must commit to using Coinbase Advanced or Kraken Pro. There is no other financially sensible option for someone who will be making more than a handful of transactions. For what is my personal tolerance for risk when it comes to the platform itself? If you are highly risk-averse and prioritize institutional-grade security and a history of regulatory compliance above all else, then Gemini and Kraken should be your focus. By answering these questions honestly, you're no longer just picking an app. You're defining your strategy. You're choosing a tool that is custom-fit for your personality and your goals. But here's the most important thing I can tell you in this entire series. The app is just the beginning. It's the gateway. The real work, the real security, the real success comes from you. No matter which platform you choose, there are universal, non-negotiable rules you must follow. First, your security is ultimately your responsibility. The strongest exchange in the world cannot protect you from a weak password or a phishing scam. The very first thing you do after signing up, before you even deposit a single dollar, is set up two-factor authentication or 2FA. Use an app like Google Authenticator or Authy, not just SMS text messages, which are less secure. This single step is the most powerful thing you can do to protect your account. Second, start small. I cannot overstate this. Your first crypto purchase should not be with your rent money or your emergency fund. It should be an amount of money that, if it vanished into thin air tomorrow, would not materially affect your life. $20, $50, $100. Think of it as the price of your tuition in the school of crypto. This removes the emotion and allows you to learn the process, the buying, the selling, the sending, without the terror of making a mistake with life-altering sums of money. And finally, zoom out. Understand what you are participating in. For the vast majority of people, crypto is not a get-rich-quick lottery ticket. It is a long-term investment in a new emerging technology. It's volatile. It's unpredictable. It's the frontier. You are buying a small piece of a potential future. That requires patience. It requires a long-term mindset. The people who panic sell during downturns and FOMO buy at the top are the ones who lose. The ones who succeed are those who have a plan, stick to it, and see the big picture. So the best app for a US beginner isn't a single name. It's a reflection of you. It's the one that removes the friction and gets you in the game safely. It's the one that aligns with your goals, your risk tolerance, and your desire to learn. We've given you the map. We've shown you the landmarks. Now you have to take the first step. Pick the one that speaks to you, set up your security, start with a small amount, and begin your journey. The hardest part is over. You're no longer on the outside looking in. You're ready. If this series has helped you cut through the noise and given you the confidence to get started, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more straightforward guides to this new financial world. And I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me which archetype you are and which app you're leaning towards. Your journey is just beginning, and we're excited to be a part of it.